the Surviving Outside Sales podcast, hosted by Mike O'Kelly, presented by Sales Builder Academy. The goal is to survive and thrive all phases of outside sales, whether you're getting in, dominating, or getting out. Surviving Outside Sales. Now on with the show. Welcome to the Surviving Outside Sales podcast. I'm your host, Mike O'Kelly. I want to thank you all for another record-setting May. Growth was 10% over the month of April, and that was with a lot of turmoil in the month of May. I know that there was a lot of podcasts that had to be rebroadcast because I was just super slammed. And one of the reasons why was because I was in creation mode. I call it the lab. And when I just kind of hunker down and I am just writing, typing, shooting videos left and right. And what resulted of that was the Sales Builder Blueprint. And so I know I kind of mentioned it before, and I've mentioned on other podcasts. What the Sales Builder Blueprint is, it's all the systems and processes. It's the frameworks that I have used in my career and I've implemented and tested in the field in 8 different turnarounds, 8 different business turnarounds that I've had. Failing businesses, failing territories, failing branches, where they were naysayers, like, this is never going to work. It's impossible. Good luck. And I just said, okay, I'm going to do it. And one of the things that I did, and one of the things that the Sales Builder Blueprint represents, it's a different philosophy than a lot of the sales philosophies and methodologies are currently on the market. And one of the differences is the fact that everyone is talking about the sales as a business. They talk about the closing aspect. And if you've heard me talk about this on the show before, I'm going to say it again. I'm going to say it till I'm blue in the face. There is more to sales than closing, because here's the fact. If you can't get to the close, what good is it knowing how to close? I firmly believe, and I have done this hundreds of times in my career, if you do such a fantastic job up until the point where you'd have to quote unquote close, the customer is going to be willing. The buyer is going to be willing. Your prospect is going to be willing to say yes. You don't have to force them. You don't have to battle them. You don't have to knock them over the head. They're going to want to be in business with you, and they're going to want to do business with you because you've done everything properly. You've pulled them into your universe. You haven't been salesy. You don't sound like everyone else. It's the exact same thing if you're married or you're dating and you have a significant other. It's one of the reasons why that person was drawn to you. It's not just your physical looks. Trust me. There's a lot of good-looking people out there that don't have dates, that don't have significant others. It's something else. It's in our human biology. We are drawn to other people for certain reasons. It's the exact same thing in sales. You walk in and you start spouting features and benefits nonstop, people are going to start running. All of a sudden, the walls start going up and you're going to get this defensive mode from your prospect, your buyer. Simple as that. And that's really hard when you walk up and they throw a wall after they meet you and after you pitch them, after you talk to them. That is a very tough wall to knock down. Trust me. I haven't been perfect in my sales career, but I've learned from the things that I heard from some so-called gurus, other people in the sales world that are leeching off the times of old, the Alec Baldwin, Glengarry Glen Ross, always be closing. That used to work, but in 2023, buyers are more sophisticated. It doesn't necessarily know that they know the technical specs of your product or service, but they know who they want to be in business with. They know who they want to rally around, and they know more about your product before you even talk to them than you really do think they do. Think about it. Most companies have websites. Most companies have social media pages. Most products that aren't brand spanking new to the market have reviews. They have videos possibly on YouTube. They're out there. It is out there in the world. Very rarely and gone are the days where you could literally walk up to a business and say, I got something 100% new to the market. Now, it does happen, but that's an exception to the rule. It's not the rule. For most sales professionals out there, you are going to be representing a product. You're going to be a professional with a product that either has market share, is trying to gain market share, is the market leader, or maybe came back, was gone for a while. I know that happens a lot in the medical field. Product goes off patent, or a company gives up on a product and another company swoops in, buys it, brings it back to the market. Shoot, I have had to do that several times where I get a product that quote unquote is new to my company, but is not new to the market. It might have a different name. It might have a different box or something like that, but it happens very frequently. So you have to understand that you have to treat the sales process completely different than the way, shoot, you even did 3 or 4 years ago. Digital technology is going to rule the future. Not necessarily being the features and benefits guy or gal is going to cut it anymore. Just knowing your product backwards and forwards is not going to cut it anymore. You have to have the human element in the sales world. And if you don't have that, I hate to tell you what's going to happen, but it's not going to be pretty. There was a time, I'd say even 6-7 years ago, if you just had features and benefits and you were just really good and you're really persistent and you're really consistent and you got out there and you made all the calls, after about 15, 20 calls, you got the business. That doesn't happen anymore. People are sick and tired, and not to mention the fact that buyers have been burned by a handful, if not a dozen, other people that sound just like you. So how do you circumvent that? You don't sound like anybody else. You don't have the same approach as everybody else. You don't do the same research the same way as everybody else. You don't lead with your product. You lead with learning about the customer. You learn about the customer's hopes, dreams, desires, and wants. It's what I call the PPF method: past, present, and future. Before you can even move forward to the future, you got to understand the past. Where have they been in the past? What have they tried? What has their experience been? Where are they today? And then make the bridge to the future and paint a future that's exactly what they want. Can your product or service get there? And I'll tell you this: do not try to force your product on your prospect. I have had a lot of deals where if it's not a perfect fit, you're going to have negative reviews. You're going to have a negative customer experience. There's going to start becoming a reputation about you. And not to mention, it's going to be a huge time suck. I see a lot of these quote unquote sales gurus who talk about objections. And I get it. Yes, you do need to understand objections. You need to how to kind of navigate and be very nimble, like water, as Bruce Lee says, to navigate the sales conversation. However, if it's not a fit, if they're not a ideal customer for you, if they don't fit your mold, the ideal customer profile, I have done it. I have sold to the wrong people, and they blow your phone up and they blow your email up. And then all of a sudden, the chirping starts happening behind the scenes. But for some of these sales gurus, and I'm coming right at you, some of these old time sales gurus who haven't really had to sell in the modern time, back when they cut their teeth when there was no reputation finder online. Now everything is online. If I, Mike O'Kelly, screw somebody over, it's everywhere. It's going to be on Twitter. It's going to be on Instagram. It's going to be on LinkedIn. It's going to be everywhere. But with those pushy tactics, those shady tactics of old, they could hide. They could hide by the anonymity of disappearing into the ether. Never see them again. I mean, there's a joke. How do you get rid of a laser rep? You buy something from them and you'll never see them again. That is literally a thing that is said in the sales world. How horrible is that? But everybody laughs and everybody jokes. Luckily for me, I know a lot of great laser reps that don't act like that. And they're killing it. Wonder why? They do things a little bit different. But that is what is needed to take place. You've got to be different in a better way. You've got to be better. But this podcast, the Sales Builder Blueprint, everything in this universe is talking about the business of sales. Not sales as a business, the business of sales. I will let the carnival barkers, I will let the old timers talk about sales as a business. Great. I understand you've made millions. Congratulations. You've made millions. What have your students done? Have your students outperformed you? Have they out executed you? That's really what mentorship and coaching is about. If you're really in it for the other people, you want your students to outshine you. And that's what I want. I want every single person in the sales builder world. I want them to outshine me. I want them to out earn me. I want them to outgrow me. I want them to smash records. I don't want them to be number 4. I don't want them to be number 8. I want every single one of them to get to number 1. That is the purpose. And the only way to get to number 1 in 2023 and beyond is to form airtight relationships by doing it the right way and figuring out how to build businesses that will scale and expand. Not hustle plays where I got to do more activity, I got to make more calls. It's not sustainable. Building a sustainable business that can grow on top of itself and will not be destroyed by the weight of the levels above it, like a house of cards. That is the key to growth, and that is the key to sales in 2023. And that is what the Sales Builder Blueprint is going to build for each and every person who decides that they want in. I hope that every single person that's listening is willing to give Sales Builder Blueprint a try. I would absolutely love it. I know most won't. There's a saying in sales, 30% of people will say yes if you offer. 30% of people, no matter what you offer, it could be the best offer in the world, are going to say no. And it's that 40% in the middle that you have an opportunity to sell. It just takes a little bit more work. So I know right off the bat that of all the downloads, 30% are not interested. And that's fine. I mean, look, there might be some people that are absolutely crushing it and they're doing great. All right, cool. But I guarantee you, people listening right now, if you're listening right now, I guarantee you there's 30 to 50% of the audience that needs help. So if that's you, I want you to reach out to me, Mike at survivingoutsidesales.com, or just sign up. Just sign up. Invest in yourself. Sign up for one of my packages. You can either have the Sales Builder Blueprint Starter, which is online course, and then a couple quick meetings with me to make sure you're on the right track. Sales Builder Blueprint Professional, it's the online course. Plus, you're going to have me every step of the way as I will help you build your territory's blueprint. I will be there right with you. Or you can hire me for the year to be a coach. I'll work with you for the entire year. I'll get you through these different phases. If that sounds like you, go to mikeokelly.com/salesbuilderblueprint. Sign up for a course. Sign up for a package today. Why wait? We're almost halfway through 2023. It's absolutely wild to think about. We're almost halfway through 2023. Because you know what's going to happen? All of a sudden, well, I'll get to it later. There's a reason why you're listening to this podcast right now. You're hearing my voice. Are you going to be the type that takes action? Or are you going to be the type that keeps waiting for the right opportunity? Here's a hint. The right opportunities don't come along very often. You have to create the opportunities yourself. You have to create the moments where you can seize those opportunities. Thank you so much. Again, please reach out to me, Mike at survivingoutsidesales.com. Thank you to everybody who's listening. I mean, I truly, it makes me so excited to get the numbers each week and to see this podcast grow. I don't run ads. And up until now, I haven't really had any products except for, if you wanted coaching, just email me. And I was kind of building courses on the fly. So I now have courses. There's a lot more structure. I'm building my infrastructure. I always talk about processes and systems. It's taken me a little bit because I'm a very creative guy, and my processes and systems were very extensive. And so I had to bring in about 5 or 6 people to help me build this, as far as, little things here and there, marketing people, website design, digital. I have mentors as well, and I have people that are coaching me. So I'm a product of my product, and I practice what I preach. So thank you so much. Download this episode and share it with somebody else. If this is not you, if you're listening and you're in that 30 to 50% where, you're like, what, Mike, I don't need this right now. Look, I get it. There's nothing in this world that is for everyone. I get it. But I guarantee you, one or two people that could use Sales Builder Blueprint, because they need to have a structure in place. They need to have a business process. And I tell you what, if you reach out to me and you want to get some credit, if you want to get some commission, if any of your friends buy anything, reach out to me and we'll set something up. I'm going to roll out an affiliate program probably in about 3 months. So you'll get a jump start on that. Mike at Surviving Outside Sales. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. I hope everybody has a great start to their June. And we'll see you next time on Surviving Outside Sales. Bye-bye.